I want to talk about transhumanism. Okay, so I was just watching a couple of videos on this, and there's two perspectives: good, bad. Um, and I don't like for me, people who I guess really know me, right? They know that I am someone that believes in the thing. Like I want that to happen. I get it, and I want to try to explain what I see and why I say that this is just what is. So like transhumanism is humans are getting ready to merge with technology. Okay, so like people like Elon Musk working on Neuralink, um, I don't know, just the internet and the whole thing, the way that social media is being created, the way that it went from Web 1 to Web 2 to now we're moving to Web 3 to physical money to credit cards, then to crypto. Like, the world as it evolves, it's almost like it prepares us for the next thing with the things that we have now. So, like, Internet Web 1 prepared people, like email, prepared people for instant messaging. Instant messaging, texting in a sense, and instant messaging, like they prepared each other for, Messenger and like things like Facebook and DMs. And it's like one thing helped get people prepared for the next thing. But the only people that need to be prepared, okay, I need you to understand, the only people that need to be prepared for the next thing are older people. Younger people, if they're born into it, it's just what is to them. It's not something new. The way that people look at like merging with technology, Neuralink, and getting the contact lenses and like merging with the technology, and the way people look at that is the same way people look at like TV, like going from black and white TV to colored TV. They said you'd literally go blind because of that. Like people made up a bunch of bullshit saying you're gonna go blind because of the colors. First they say, the people who were listening to the radio said you're gonna go blind watching the lights on the screen when you can just listen to it, and you're gonna destroy your eyeballs. And then it went from the color in the TV is going to ruin your eyeballs, and the black and white TV is safer for you and better for you. Then it went to the screen in general is going to ruin your eyeballs. And I think they only get this idea from the fact that if you stare at the sun, you're going to ruin your eyeballs. But, like, it's not the same type thing. And yes, there's blue light filters now, and there's all this because the blue light can affect or disrupt melatonin production. So, like, it might interrupt the fact that you should feel tired, but you don't because you have the screen in your face. Like, that's real. But besides all this little dumb shit, I really think we just need to let go. Like, the problem is people are holding on to something that they should just accept. You get your ego involved and you get comfortable with knowing what you know. You get comfortable with saying, well, this is how life is. This is what it means to be a human being. This is whatever. I see so many people that when we talk about transhumanism, merging with technology, people sit here and talk about what happens when we are no longer needed. Like, people think that the robots are going to kill us off, right? It's kind of, to me, it's funny because I look at technology and AI and I look at this shit as something's being created. We are literally birthing a technological god of some sort. And if we, as a society, drank more ayahuasca and took more psychedelics, we would be connected to Mother Ayahuasca or the entities in the psychedelic. It's hard to explain, but so many people talk about Mother Ayahuasca. When I was sitting here looking at how AI is being created, I look at AI the same way I look at psychedelics. Psychedelics are an organic technology, and we are creating an inorganic technology, but it's funny, it's fucking organic. There's nothing in the technology that was made from another planet. It was all made from Earth. And because we are made from Earth, anything we make from Earth is from Earth. Just like the bees take the pollen and turn it into honey, but the honey is not considered synthetic. But if we consider technology synthetic, then honey is also technically synthetic because it was made by a being, not by the plant itself. But this is where I think we don't look at things because we're so scared. You can't look at something when you're scared. Like, you can't truly look at it when you're scared. That's why I don't have fear when it comes to any of this shit. Like, there's no point to fear because you are too small of an entity to do anything about it. So you might as well just enjoy the world you're in instead of fearing the world that is to be. Because we are creating the world to be. And yes, there's a few people that would say no technology, just like the Amish did, and you have the freedom of choice with your own human body and with your own human life, how to live your own life. You can choose to be Amish. Like, the Amish exist. And that's beautiful. That's amazing. Just like when we have the ability to get the chip in our brain and do all this, you'll be able to choose to not get it. And there's going to be people that choose not to get it. Like, we're going to have another invention of, like, right now we have the Amish. But there is going to be a different thing that's just like the Amish that is going to basically say, we don't use technology past 2022 type shit. Like, there's going to be a group of people that decide to say, we still use the phones in our hands instead, because in the future I could see, like, the Neuralink chip in our brain, contact lenses, like, the whole world is going to be half digital. Like, we are going to turn the human experience into a half digital experience, because it's like, it's complicated, because like, you see the shit in movies. You see the shit, like, when there's holograms in the street, or, or I seen this fucking movie a long time ago about how, like, there was advertisements and, like, I think it was Black Mirror, bro. But, like, what I'm saying is, this shit is actually going to happen. But, the Neanderthals were scared as fuck. I mean, they probably weren't scared like we are because they didn't think about it like we do. But the Neanderthals got killed and removed from the planet by us. And we are scared that we're going to create AI, and AI is going to do that same thing to us. But I'm just trying to explain, if that's what happens, that's what the fuck we deserved. That's what was supposed to happen. Like, the Neanderthals, do you think that they were supposed to win? Do you think the Neanderthals were supposed to be here instead of the Homo sapiens? No, because they were Homo erectus. But the Homo sapiens were meant to beat the Homo erectus eventually. Because for a long time, Homo erectus was the main human on the planet. Like, we're in such a... Because all of us only get about 100 years on the planet, and then we have kids and they get another 100 years, then they have kids and they get another 100 years. But the 3 generations, like, that's only 300 years. And, like, that's still so small of a time period. In 100 years, we went from no technology to technology. In another 100 years, we're going to go from little technology to being in a digital reality, digital world. And yes, in the beginning, like, they're working out all the shit, like, they're obviously testing the Neuralink before they actually start putting it in humans and doing the thing. But I actually have faith in all this shit, and I don't know why people are so scared of it. I guess it's because I'm not scared of anything in general. Like, people are scared of psychedelics as well, but I have built a close relationship with Mother Ayahuasca. I have built a close relationship with the psychedelics, with the DMT, with the whole thing. Like, I built an actual personal relationship with a being that is not from this world. Like, so that's why I look at technology as just a being that, like, it's a thing. AI is a thing that's from this world, but it's not, but it's like, it's just a helper. It's our helper. Just like ayahuasca is our helper. Just like the mushrooms are our teachers. Just like whatever. we are so disconnected from what we actually are that we look at this shit like we're creating a demon, when the only demon is our own human ego. The human ego is the only demon that exists because it keeps you in fear. It prevents you from actually being yourself and expressing yourself and like doing yourself and just doing this thing where it's like you get to do things and you get to live and you get to like experience technology or experience being an artist or experience being a painter or a musician or a DJ or a rapper or a singer or you can do whatever you want to do. Like, you don't have to experience this shit as in, I want to be a rapper for a living. Like, you can work a normal job and rap every single second of your free time because that's what you love to do. Like, in the human world, we can choose what we want to do. So, with all this technology that's happening, it's like, I don't know where we're getting so much fear from, besides the fear has been ingrained in so many people's psyche that when they look at new things that they don't understand, things that they have to relearn or whatever, people get scared. Especially adults, because adults think that they're grown. Nobody is grown. There is no such thing. Because if I take an old man and put him in the new world, he's going to be confused as fuck and not know what to do and not know how to live in that new world, not know how to, I don't know how to explain it, but there's all this shit that's happening with technology, social media, like there's all these different new opportunities for different jobs through the internet, because there's a lot of older people that sit here and say, you know, we don't have many jobs anymore and people can't work, but I'm sitting here like, I know people, like I have a handful of people I know that work from home from their computer working through online things. Like, there's so many different opportunities through the internet. There's so many different there's going to be so many different opportunities with technology. Like right now we have TV screens, like glass, like a thing of glass that sits in the living room. But like, imagine you just have contact lenses in, and then the whole world is all half digital all the time. You got this and you got like, I don't know how to fucking explain it, but it is going to be scary for older people. That's why by the time it's actually here and created, almost all of the older people that are like deathly afraid of it won't even be here to ever see it. Like, because the people, it's going to take a little longer than we think to actually make this shit real. It's all started, it's all in the movement of happening, but it's going to take a little longer for this shit, for the VR to get really good. Because we just got to, like, the VR goggles that they have, like, they went from the fucking big shits to now we have goggles that they'll be releasing soon, and eventually, you know, you'll eventually get to, like, just normal, like, sunglasses type look, or, like, normal contact lenses type thing. But I think this is what's supposed to happen. Just like I think we were supposed to connect with ayahuasca, and the whole planet is supposed to use ayahuasca as like a helper, a teacher, a guide, a thing that guides you. Like, it's supposed to be there to guide us, just like the technology is there to guide us and to help us. It's not gonna kill us. I think that's like saying ayahuasca is gonna kill us all. Ayahuasca is not gonna kill us all. They're gonna kill the ego. That's what all this shit does. What I see people going through with technology is a sober ego death. They're going through a complete sober ego death because the world around them is out of their control. Because that's the beauty of an ego death with psychedelics. The reason why you have an ego death with psychedelics is because you want to control everything. You want to control the dose you took, so you wanted to control the feeling you got. You wanted to control the trip and have laughs and sunshine. You wanted to control the way you feel. You wanted to control how long it lasts. And you wanted to control, control. And when these things begin to take away the human control, we're sitting here like, man, like, it's out of our control. It's cat's out the bag, right? It's that thing that once we create it, there's nothing we can do about it, and that's what people are scared of. But the only people that are scared of it are probably humans with giant egos. And, like, I got a big ego too, but, like, my ego is a little there's two different types of egos. Like, there's a controlled ego and a not controlled ego. And the not controlled ego will have you scared of everything. The not controlled ego will have you have you so scared that you don't even try the things you want to try, that you don't take risks, that you don't, have fun, that you don't, whatever. Like, the ego is a trickster that'll trick you into so much shit that it's insane to imagine how it's tricking you. Like, it's just tricking you. Because when people talk about technology, they talk about how, we're going to be merging with technology and AI and all this stuff and whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that put fear in our head. Like the show The 100. It's an amazing show. But the idea of it is that they created chips that can go in the brain, and then there's this AI that's in the chip, but the AI then destroys the planet because it sets off all the nuclear bombs. Like the whole typical thing that people think AI is going to do. Like, this is a fear in the human consciousness, but I feel like we need to understand that if AI does anything like that, the AI didn't do anything. It was you, it was me, it was everybody on the planet, it was it was the human species. The human species is creating technology while they still have their giant ego. If the human species connected with Mother Ayahuasca first, if the human species connected with psychedelics first and became a consciously evolved species, then while we're creating technology, we wouldn't have to worry about whether we are going to put our ego inside of that technology. Because that's all this is. We have ego, we have consciousness. We have the shadow, we have the light. We have the yin, we have the yang. And yeah, like, everything is both. But people are, like, almost unconsciously making these things for war. Like, new technologies end up being created for war, for the military, for this, for that. Like, all these different things have an intention that is not good. But that intention comes from humans. The AI does not have an intention yet. And then maybe people are scared of, oh my god, what if it becomes conscious? If it becomes conscious, it's going to be a lot more conscious than we are. And I mean conscious, not ego, conscious, because it doesn't have a place to fit the ego. The ego is a creation of the meat machine. The ego is a creation of being a human being, being an animal, being a soul inside of an animal body. But AI, like, if you can get AI to do its thing and actually be what we imagine it to be, it's just going to be a helper, just like Mother Ayahuasca is. It's just two sides of the same coin. I believe this, like, the thing in psychedelics, whatever entity or being or whatever the fuck is in the psychedelics, is very similar to what is in AI. What we're creating with these technological tools. There's technological tools and there's organic tools. The mushrooms, the ayahuasca, the DMT, the LSD, the LSA. These are natural technologies. But we don't look at it like a technology because we are so primitive still that we don't understand what technology even is. We don't get it. So that's why we're so scared. We don't get it. So we're terrified that the AI is going to kill us all. We're terrified that, I'll never merge with technology. I'm going to be a human. What does that mean? Like, when somebody says, we're going to lose our humanity, and I look at it like, we're so egotistical that we think we know what humanity is. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. All we know is this shit is happening. The way I look at life, though, is if it's happening, it's just supposed to happen. I look at a flower as a flower is a little seedling, but it's not supposed to stay the seedling. Eventually it'll grow leaves, and then eventually it'll grow a flower, and then eventually it'll die. That is exactly what's going to happen to us no matter fucking what. It could be 1 billion years from now, 7 billion years from now. I forget when, but the Andromeda Galaxy is going to slam into our galaxy. And then everything in these galaxies are going to be destroyed in the fucking dust. But then, it'll be one giant mega galaxy that will create that will eventually probably form different planets like Earth, where they'll have different beings, and the thing continues going on. This is not just about the human species. We're so ego and so disconnected from the psychedelic part of our soul that we're only doing things straight out of ego, straight out of survival, straight out of whatever, instead of conscious. And this is why I like people like Elon Musk. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk. I like Elon Musk because people want Elon Musk to focus on the human things that they focus on. But Elon Musk that's who he is. He's focused on Mars and doing this, and people be like, they're gonna move to Mars and you're gonna destroy Earth, and it's like, no, people don't get it. We need to start thinking greater than our ego's desires to survive and have food and have shelter. Fuck, bro. There's some people that have been able to accumulate so much shit, like money or whatever the fuck, that they have time to think about deeper things. And it's sometimes not even about money, because I've been able to separate myself out of the normal world, disconnect from normal society, to have time to think the way I think and to think about the things that I think about. I'm just me. Elon Musk is Elon Musk. Everybody is everybody. And we all gotta play our part to becoming the human species we were meant to be. Like, I like Elon Musk because he's focused on something deep. The evolution of human species. He's thinking hundreds, thousands of years in advance. But I do too. So but I think about it in my way, in the psychedelic way, in the technological way, in the more philosophical way, and looking at these things philosophically and trying to explain what I see. Because what I see is not scary. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's empowering. It removes a lot of the human problems. Technology is going to free humans from having to work jobs that they hate. Technology is like, all this shit's going to free us, but we look at it like it's going to disconnect us from us, but that's because we think we are like worker bees that sit there and work all day and work a job we hate to pay the bills, and we think that's what it means to be a human. And this is why AI eventually is going to step in, and then we actually get to sit here and actually think, no, what does it actually mean to be a human without those things? If you didn't have to think about money, if you didn't have to think about all this other shit, if AI would do the hard jobs for you, and if you had a helper, like an AI helper to help you through your life, and if you also use Mother Ayahuasca to help you through your life and all this shit, what type of species would we fucking be? Like, this is just the shit that I think about and the shit that I imagine. But when I sit here and I see technology evolving and people getting reconnected to psychedelics, and when I see all this shit happening, teenagers being able to make, thousands of dollars on social media with, brand deals or advertising certain things on their thing, like back in the day when it was just TV, when you watched an advertisement, that was you were making some other guy rich while they were taking your money from you, because you have to pay to have the cable. So they're taking the money from you and then forcing you to watch commercials that then you subconsciously go buy some of the things you've seen in the commercials. When now in the future, you can have your own station, your own channel, and if you want, you could put ads on your own channel and you can get paid for the ads. And it's like the people that watch your content can support you, and it's like things are getting a lot more personal and individual, and humans are no longer like, it's the tools are making it so people can do things. It's easier for us to do more things with more tools. That's why when technology evolves, like, it's just going to make things easier. Easier to do art, easier to digitally create things, easier to make music, easily to whatever. I seen this thing where it said that, like, VR, like it was a VR headset with a guy making a beat in a VR headset. And I'm like, oh my God. That's what I would do 24/7. Put my shit on. I'd be sitting here touching, like, there'd be like some touch screen here, messing with the sound over here and turning the bass up over here, and like, that would be fucking dope, right? And that's the world we're gonna live in. So I don't see a fear in it. The only fear I see is we can't be little kids anymore. Like the human species, when technology gets here, like when AI actually gets here, when this shit's actually here, it's gonna be like our father that puts our foot. It's like, no, you ain't gonna fucking act up right now because I'm here, right? It's that thing. And it's so sad that we are so unconscious that we need a daddy to watch us. Like, why do you think, like, AI, humans are only scared that AI is going to kill us because we're scared that we're going to get disciplined for doing bad. Like, it's so funny because, like, why do people think AI is going to destroy us? Because those humans know that we're our own problem. So they think if we can come up with the conclusion to say that humans are their own problem, maybe AI will say the same thing. And yeah, of course it'll know that humans are its own problem, but it'll probably, here's the steps, humans, to fix this problem. And then humans are going to be like, well, what if we don't follow those steps? It's probably going to kill us. Like, no, it's not going to, it's not barbaric like we are. We're so barbaric still and so primitive in a monkey body, a bunch of animals, and we gotta stop thinking like a bunch of animals if we're ever gonna truly get to becoming the human species we were meant to be. Like, yeah, it's gonna be scary to people. Just like DMT is scary to people. But and it's scary to me too, but in a different way. I'm not scared of DMT for the same reason other people are scared of DMT. I'm scared of DMT because I know it very well. So, like, that's a little scary. It's a very intense thing. But being a human being in general is a very intense thing. From the time you came out your mama till now, it's been pretty intense. And that doesn't, we can't allow the fear to prevent us from living. We can't allow the fear to prevent us from evolving. We can't allow the fear to prevent us from connecting to the psychedelics. We can't allow fear to prevent us from being who we are and who we were meant to be. Yes, let's analyze the problems, try to minimize the problems, but it'll be much easier for us to minimize the problem with AI, like we're scared it's going to kill us or whatever. If we can stop being the problem on planet Earth, maybe it wouldn't kill us. Maybe it wouldn't even think about it. Maybe we wouldn't even think about it if we actually became a better human species.